Bariatric surgery was one of the best things I could have ever done. Hi, my name is Lauren Rouse, and welcome to But Now I See podcast. And I just want to take a minute to share with you all about how important your health is. Now, I'm going to jump straight to the chase with this here story because I think it's important. Because so many of you have a lot of goals, you have lots of aspirations, and you have a lot of work to do, and you have got to take care of your health. So I wanted to share a story about a conversation that I had with a young lady at a funeral. It was after the funeral was over. She was an old lady, around we're young, in our upper 50s. And she gave me a compliment and she said to me, she says, "Oh my God, you look so good." And I could tell the way she said it was like, she was really saying, "What is it that you did? What did you do?" And I said, "Well, I had bariatric surgery." She started whispering. She's like, "Oh, you had bariatric surgery, y'all?" And she started looking around. What is it about church folk that just everything is a secret? So I said, "Yes, I had bariatric surgery." She says, "Oh my God, what made you do it? What made you do it?" And I was like, "My health." And I'm saying the same thing to you, your health. So if there's any of you that are dealing with whether or not you should have surgery, I say go ahead and have surgery. Now, this is not a video for somebody that's doing Wegovy or considering Ozempic. I didn't do that because I wasn't trying to poke myself. I wasn't trying to worry about insurance and payment and on again, off again, losing weight, gaining weight. I wanted a one and done. So here's my story. So I found myself huffing and puffing, standing still. And as a preacher, I did that all the time for quite a few years. And I was just getting comfortable with my discomfort. And again, like I said, I'm not going to ease into this. I'm going to jump right into it because you need to hear it. Now, there's some of you that are comfortable with your weight. I'm not talking about you. It's fine. There are those of you who have no intention and you have other reasons as to why you may be, the weight that you are, and that's fine. I'm not here for that. I'm here for those who are on the fence of whether or not that they should have surgery. So if you don't have any real health issues, I recommend that you get it. So now I'm preaching and I'm preaching, I'm huffing and puffing. So one particular Sunday, a couple of my members like, "Oh my God, you was doing that old school preach." I was like, "What do you mean you doing?" I was doing old school preach. It was like, "You was huh and huh." They was like, "Oh my God, pastor never do that." And I just started laughing. I said, "No, listen, I was out of breath. I be tired." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, pastor, it was good, but you was huffing and puffing." And I was like, "Oh my goodness." And as I was thinking that I was actually consciously just really standing still because I was out of breath. I mean, I was out of breath, but that didn't do it. I was also having pains in my bodies and in my body. I was having a lot of pain and I kept going to the doctor. I was having back pain. I was having knee pain. I was having leg pain. I was developing, I think, sciatica, arthritis, reutitis. I had all the itises. And I thought more about death than I ever have because I was like, okay, this is what happens when you're over 50, you start thinking about death. It's like all these pains in my body, everything that was happening to me, it was just crazy. So I just kept going back and forth with the doctor, getting this test done, that test done, having x-rays done on this and x-rays done on that. And so finally, my doctor said to me, she said, "Miss Rouse," she said, I think you're fine." She said, "Part of your problem is you're overweight." And so it didn't really register because here's this woman. She's about 2 inches shorter than me, like 5 feet. No, 5'2". And now I'm pushing 300. She's easy over 450. But you know what? I didn't judge her. I said, I'm gonna focus on why I'm here. And I don't know what her situation is. So and she said, "So I'm gonna have to put you on pre-diabetic medication because you're gonna have to watch your diet. You gotta come off of some of this weight." And I was bothered by that. Me, pre-diabetic, So it didn't really hit me at the time, nor did all the huffing and puffing really hit me while I was preaching. I just needed all the pain to go away. That's what I really needed, was all the pain to go away because in the middle of the night, y'all, I'm telling y'all something. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. And so, all right, so now I'm considering going to the gym. I hate the gym, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. Go to the gym. I hate working out on the machines. I was trying the machines and all that kind of stuff. So I finally settled on the pool, full body workout, walking back and forth. And after a while, that just really didn't last. And so, I was calling myself, taking a little break. I think I had lost maybe 2 or 3 pounds at the time. And so 3 different scenarios happened that really woke me up. One day I had a shirt ordered to my sister's house, ordered to be, delivered to my sister's house. And I told her, I said, wow, when the shirt comes, I want you to open it up and take a look at it because it was a custom shirt. I had something, some writing put on it. And so when she opened the shirt, she said, okay, so okay, it's nice, but it's the way she said that it's nice. It was like she was trying not to say something else. I couldn't wait to get there to see what was going on with the shirt. And so when I got there, I said, okay, let me see. I want to see, how it looks. And so she spread the shirt open. And when I tell you that shirt looked like it was a 4X, it looked like it was a 4X. And my sister looked at me like, and I said, "Oh," I said, that may be too big for me, I don't know." So when I got home, when I tell y'all that shirt fit me perfect, that shirt fit me perfect, and I was done. I was like, "This is absolutely crazy. It's no way that I'm this big." It was a shirt that looked like my nephew who was like 6 feet. He's a big and tall guy, like he's close to 4X. And I just couldn't believe, but y'all, that didn't do it. And so then there was another situation where it was my niece's graduation, and we were all taking photos, so we was looking at the photos, and when I tell y'all I couldn't see my niece in nobody, all I could see is me looking like I had ham hocks all over my body. My wrist, my looked like my wrist was swollen, my elbows was just fat, and I was like, "Oh my God, I look so bad," and I was so embarrassed, and, I don't know what happened to those pictures. One thing for sure, I never post them because 'cause I'm a social media person, but I did not post those photos. I didn't post them. And the final thing, I was at an amusement park and I took some pictures. And when I tell you it was about 4 people in these photos, I looked like the oldest person in the photo, and I was not the oldest person. I looked like somebody's grandmama, great grandmama, and that was it. I said, you know what? I'm going to do surgery. I'm gonna see if I can get approval for surgery. And so I started the journey back in 2022. And I was telling everybody, like, listen, I'm going to get the surgery. And, friends and families, like, don't get the surgery. You don't need that. You're going to be looking crazy. You don't need to get the surgery. You look good. All you need to do is just go to the gym. So I let them convince me. I don't let nobody convince you to do what you know you need to do for yourself. So I allowed them to convince me. And, I'm still hurting in my body. They didn't know what I was going through. And it just got worse. I started gaining more weight. I started having even more pain. And then I was thinking a lot about I didn't want to go into full diabetes. I definitely didn't want to do that. And so what I decided to do was what I knew better to do anyway, which was to go ahead and do the surgery and to not say anything to anybody except for my kids and my sister and my close friend who, they never have an opinion about anything that anybody says. So they was safe for me to share it with. And I let them know that I was having the surgery. This was about 2 years later, and when I tell y'all it was the best thing I had ever done. Now listen, now here's the thing. The very ones who told me not to have the surgery were the first ones to tell me about how good I look. Now they didn't know that I had surgery until the weight started falling off. They's like, you losing a lot of weight. And when I told them, they's like, oh my God, but it looks so good. And you look good in your clothes. And it was, yeah, and I knew because I felt good in my clothes too. It was like I went back to high school and I liked to dress. I started buying all kind of clothes, which is a danger. Don't buy clothes right away. Just wait a while, maybe about a year, literally a year, maybe a year and a half before you start buying clothes. Because I tell you, I got some clothes that I have sitting up in the attic. I'm not getting rid of because they are nice. But I dropped weight so fast I never got a chance to wear them. So I'm saying all this to say, listen, if it's something that you want to do, do it. I wanted to encourage you on today, encourage you. Do what is best for you. Is because let me tell you, God did not intend for your health or your weight to slow you down or to hold you back from doing what he called you to do. For me, it was slowing me down. I was tired all the time. I was sleepy all the time. Like I said, I was out of breath preaching all the time. That was not my portion. And it's not your portion either. So if I can encourage you to just take some time, pray about it. Listen, don't just because you're watching this video, don't do it because I'm telling you. Pray about it. Ask God, is this something that you should, you could, or you ought to do? Because I knew in my heart, I'm gonna tell you, I knew in my heart I was praying to God all the time about, death and how, my possibility of leaving so young. I start thinking about my mother who passed away at 61. She was young. Craziness, y'all. Absolutely craziness. Don't be like me. Don't go through what I went through. Okay. So, all right. I wanted to share that with you. And I promise you, you're going to be happy with the results. It's going to be a little difficult in the beginning because you're going to have to start eating small portions, but after a while, you get used to it. And some food look good. You wish you can eat it, but you're going to have to do a whole lot of takeout trays. Okay. All right. So that is my story. Again, go ahead and do what you got to do to take care of you. All right. So you can have good health and be happy. God bless. Until next time.